Hi, guys. I wanted to talk to you today about everything I've learned in the last 5 years as a reseller. Yeah, I started just with things from my closet until I made a business out of it. So that's going to be the main purpose of this video today, so that maybe you'll hear something, whether you're just starting or you're someone who's been doing it for a while. Maybe you'll just hear something that will spark something and say, oh, I'm making that mistake, or good, I won't make that mistake. So let's just get started. If you don't know me, my name is Marion, and I am the smiley thrifter on almost all of social media. I'm mainly a reseller on Poshmark, though I dabble in other things at times, other, real, eBay, Mercari. I used to dabble in Citizen. I don't even think they're still around. But right now, I'm going to say 95% of my selling is on Poshmark. I also do Facebook Lives and sell things, and they're definitely less than they are on the online sites, because I know people are either coming and picking them up, or I could ship it that day. I don't have to put pictures up or anything. But anyway, getting back to that, you won't even know what I'm talking about if you're new. So let's talk a little bit about how I started, why I started. Not that any of that really matters to your story, but maybe you want to know a little bit about me. I know when I do other videos, people will direct message me, or they'll even put in the comments that they just want to know certain things. So I'm going to share that with you today as I'm not even going to call myself an experienced reseller, because you're constantly learning and growing. But as a reseller of 5 years, what I learned from start to finish. No finish, I'm not done. I started talking about this when I was in the car on the last video, but I didn't hit on anything. I was just talking and chatting. That's a video where I went to 2 thrift stores. You might want to catch that. It's my first video back after about 3 months. And just a quick little telling you about what happened and why I wasn't here on YouTube. I was still reselling, but why I wasn't here on YouTube. Guys, if you couldn't care less, fast forward. When I start talking about the beginning, I'll go like this. I hope I remember. Okay. So, and then you could, just fast forward to that. So a few different things happened, and I didn't want you guys to think I stopped reselling, because that wasn't the case. We had 2 deaths. One was my mother-in-law, who I really loved and still love. And one was my beloved bird. I tried doing a video on this to tell you about it. Between the both, yeah, I was just bawling. So I figured I'd wait. So too close. I know you're thinking bird, but yes, too close people and animal baby, feather baby in my life passed away. But I ended up going to the hospital twice that time. I didn't stay at the hospital. I just stayed in the emergency room. I just went to the emergency room for different reasons. And I really don't go to the emergency room. So that was kind of scary, but I also wasn't feeling well. Well, just so that I bring you in, there was a lot more, but just so that I bring you in, I am feeling a lot better now, or I wouldn't be doing videos. I have more energy. I have more focus again. So here I am. So let's talk about my beginning to now in a quick. This is probably going to be another 13, 14 minutes. So let's talk about it. In the beginning, started just reselling my own stuff, and then saw that there was more you can do with that. I watched so many videos. Videos really do help. Not only the educational ones, but the ones where people were taking me thrifting with them. See, I'm not good at, I don't really love doing that, because I don't know, I feel funny having a camera on. I've got to get over. The thrift with me's are more fun than anything, but they also are educational because you get to see what resellers are picking up. Sometimes every reseller isn't right. I learned some things. Oh, no. Well, yes, sometimes every reseller isn't right. But sometimes the people watching the videos, like myself, I was watching older videos, not thinking, oh, trends change, seasons change. So I was picking up outdated things that I either had to donate or that didn't sell for 3 years. So when you're watching videos, if they're hauls or if they're Bolo brands, that's temporary. So you have your trends that are every season, every year, ones that repeat themselves over and over again, like I was saying in the car yesterday. So you get to know what are the classics, what are the bolos that sell all the time, and what are the bolos that are bolos this season or this year, but not next year. So you really have to keep up on that kind of stuff. I didn't really, in the beginning, keep up on the trends. And that definitely made me hardly get any sales. Once I learned what's trending now, and the way I learned that was either through other YouTubers or looking it up online, what's trending, what's selling. You could do that so many ways. If you want to know how, let me know and I'll do a video on that. I'd love to do a whole video on that. And what's selling now, so that you're constantly learning and growing. Number one thing about reselling, keep learning and growing. I will never, and I'm going to say never, even though I say never, I don't think I'm ever going to stop educating myself on reselling as long as I'm reselling. And hey, right now, I think I'm going to be doing it for a very long time because I love it. So, yeah, make sure you're up on trends, make sure you're up on styles. Start learning some aesthetic words. Like, there are words, if you're new, there are words out there like cottagecore, mystical goth, whimsical goth. There may be a mystical goth. There's, goth, punk, all streetwear, all these different types of words that you're going to need to know what your clothing is. So, like, if I was to put this top on, well, I can't even say this top because I don't even know what I'd put this under, really, because I don't really sell tops like this. But if I was to put in something that was sheer and flowery and cape-like, that would be fairy core. That would be whimsical. That would be things that you can see. If it's floral, it's floral. So you will learn the slang, I'm going to call it, but it's keywords, because you need to know these words, because some things will sell with these words, but they won't sell without them. So just be sure that you're aware of what's trending right now. What are the keywords? Just watch videos, but make sure they're videos from now, unless they're keywords that have been out for 5 years. Then, of course, keywords are always going to be good to know whether they are trending right now or not, but be sure you know the difference. So get yourself knowing those kind of things. I also learned pictures. Taking pictures does not have to be that difficult. And when I say that because I had a mannequin that I just recently sold. And I had 2 little mannequin bustier types. I still kept those. One hangs, one doesn't. But I kept those because sometimes if you have like a halter or if you have a long dress, they don't look good unless they're on some kind of mannequin. But I'd only need one, but I have 2 because I had my retail store. Yeah, if you don't know me, I had a thrift store, a retail store that I left closed at the end of 2021. Yeah, COVID really wasn't a good time to have a small store. But anyway, there were lots of other reasons too. Now I just do it online and love doing it online, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever. I just enjoy selling what I bought that would have possibly gone to the big pile of all that stuff. So it also makes you kind of feel good that you're saving a piece of clothing. I didn't care about that in the beginning, but now I do because I've learned so much about it. So I'd say if you are a newbie or if you're someone who doesn't know about all these landfills and you're interested at all, just look it up for like 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything long, but it does help you to also realize when people come up to you in the thrift stores telling them that you're taking all the good items and that you're stealing things from them and that you shouldn't be allowed in the store, that in your head of heads, you know that so many things aren't being bought and they're getting sent to the bins from Goodwill. They're getting sent, I think some of the Salvation Army things also get sent to the bins, but anything that people don't buy at the bins goes to the landfill. And that just sucks. But anyway, yeah. So they just recycle these things and then they throw them out. You think they're being recycled and sometimes they throw them out. I know our local thrift stores do that. If they get too much stuff, they throw it out. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta not even talk about that. So yeah. So just know that there's nobody competing with you. Yeah, maybe you have to get to some stores earlier, or some garage sales earlier. There, at the garage sales, they are competing with you. Get there early. But if you go to the thrift stores, I find something, whether I go in the morning, afternoon, or night, any day of the week. But there are certain days that stores are the best. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And no matter when you go, you'll find something because everyone else doesn't want what you want. How's my little bunny cut out over there? Excuse me a minute. I made a boo-boo. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, you're going to have other resellers going into thrift stores, going to all these different places, consignment shops. And you're going to have buyers going. So, of course, you have a little competition, but don't let them feel like you're their competition because these things are getting thrown in the landfills. That was my point. Yeah, and so you may get ridiculed, but it's rare. I think it happened to me 3 times. 3 times in 5 years. You know. What are you going to do? They see some good things in your cart and they want to go nuts. But that's okay because you got to feel good about what you're doing. Who cares what anyone else says? And these are people who aren't poor who have spoken to me. They just wanted to tell me how we're taking things from the poor people. I'm sure the poor people don't care because Salvation Army told them to their face in front of me when I asked them, I have some short about that if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be staying open because resellers are going in there and spending, I don't know, $10 to $300 with the prices now, maybe even more. It depends on what they have there. And we're keeping it open, kind of. That's the way I feel about it. And that's how she explained it. And I've known her for 5 years. She's worked there. So I thought that was a good way of explaining it. So we are helping the universe in a way. So that makes me feel good too. When you're taking pictures, back to mannequins, that's where I was when you're back to mannequins. So I had my mannequin. Now I don't. Sold her. And if you are someone who wants a mannequin or you have a store, wait until the store closes so that you can get their mannequins that they're selling cheaper. That's what I did. And then I sold her. But I went from, I'm looking over there because now I just do it up on the wall with a hanger or on the floor. When the floor is clean or I put something down, the floor is always clean. I mean, after I vacuum it, I got birds, so little seeds here and there. But yes, you want to just make sure your picture is in good lighting. I'm looking where I take it again. In good lighting, I always have my light so that I can see the correct color. If it's not the right color, make sure you put it in your listing. I just put, sometimes colors may vary due to lights. If I see like red, this is bright red. I think it's showing a bright red. Hold on there. Yes, it is. So that's good. But sometimes when I take pictures, I'm putting on my glasses for a little while. How do you feel about that? Now I could see myself. I would have known that wasn't there. Sometimes, sometimes when you take pictures, you just have to really look at them. And sometimes, like, is it on Poshmark? I think it is, where you can also edit the color. So sometimes you can get it the same color. But if you can't, make sure you put it in the description. I have so much more to share that I'm going to make a part 2 only because I'm looking up and it's showing me that I only have 3 minutes and 41 seconds left to talk to you, which means I have to clear out my trash because I usually get rid of everything, but it stays in there for a little while. So I got to go clear out the trash, and I will be back for part 2. And then we're going to talk about more things that I did wrong or that I learned. And if I can help you from the start, I'm happy. If you've been doing it for a while and you need the help now because you didn't think of something, I'm happy. I just want to help educate you the way all the other YouTubers that I've watched over the years have helped me, because if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't know half the things I know. I wouldn't even know, I don't know what. I learned it all from YouTube for the most part. All right, so that's the end of part 1. Okay, that's the end because it died, and part 2 will be possibly tomorrow. Have a great day. Like this video if you liked it. Share it if you think it will help someone else. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe. It's a free way of just helping me move more through the algorithm of YouTube. So I appreciate you with all my heart. Thank you for watching. Please comment. I love comments, and I'll talk to you soon.